Welcome to Vintage Rewind 1960s. Today we turn back the clock and revisit the enchanting world of Bewitched, where Samantha only needed a twitch of her nose to light up the screen. But behind all the humor and magic lie real-life stories few truly know, triumphs, heartbreaks, and quiet tragedies. Join us as we explore the stars who brought Bewitched to life and see how time has shaped their journeys across the decades. Samantha Stevens, the mischievous witch with the legendary nose twitch, propelled Elizabeth Montgomery into becoming one of the most dazzling television icons of the 20th century. Born on April 15, 1933, she took on the role at age 31, bringing a modern spirit, refined humor, and a magnetic presence that far surpassed the traditional female archetypes on TV at the time. Bewitched not only made her a global star but also left a profound impact on pop culture and the image of independent women. Sadly, Elizabeth Montgomery passed away in 1995 at the age of 62 from colon cancer, leaving behind an irreplaceable legacy. Darren Stevens, the sincere husband constantly swept into Samantha's magical mishaps, was portrayed by Dick York with a warmth and natural charm that audiences deeply adored. Born on September 4, 1928, he took on the role at age 36, even as he quietly endured chronic pain from a past spinal injury. The pain grew increasingly severe, eventually forcing him to leave Bewitched at the height of his career. Dick York passed away in 1992 at the age of 63 from emphysema, leaving behind the legacy of a resilient artist, one who brought laughter to millions even while fighting his own real-life battles. Darren Stevens, in the later seasons of Bewitched, was taken on by Dick Sargent under the constant weight of comparisons to Dick York. Born on April 19, 1930, Sargent stepped into the role at age 39, bringing a gentle, humorous and steady presence that helped keep the character vibrant as the series entered its final years. Despite the heavy expectations from audiences, he remained committed to his own subtle and thoughtful interpretation. Dick Sargent passed away in 1994 at the age of 64 from prostate cancer, leaving behind the legacy of a resilient performer who preserved the spirit of the character through a challenging chapter of the show's history. Endora, Samantha's powerful and sharp-witted witch mother, was brought to life by Agnes Moorehead through an exceptional performance that made the character an irreplaceable icon of Bewitched. Born on December 6, 1900, she took on the role at age 63, carrying with her an extensive stage background and multiple Oscar nominations. Moorehead transformed Endora into a perfect blend of razor-sharp humor and refined authority, far surpassing the typical standards for supporting television characters of the time. Sadly, she passed away in 1974 at the age of 73 from uterine cancer, leaving behind a brilliant artistic legacy and what is considered one of the finest character portrayals in American television history. Larry Tate, the sly yet charming advertising boss of Darren, was portrayed by David White with a rare, refined comedic style. Born on April 4, 1916, he took on the role at age 48, bringing to life a multifaceted supporting character, both amusingly pragmatic and occasionally sincere, creating an interesting balance within the show. Through his natural performance, White made Larry Tate an indispensable part of Bewitched's comedic rhythm. Sadly, he passed away in 1990 at the age of 74 due to a heart attack, leaving behind the legacy of one of American television's most delightful supporting characters. Abner Kravitz, the good-natured neighbor who was constantly pulled into the strange situations surrounding the Stevens household, was portrayed by George Tobias with an effortlessly charming naturalness. Born on July 14, 1901, he took on the role at age 63, bringing to life a simple, down-to-earth man who stood in complete contrast to Gladys's frantic suspicion and constant alarm. His calm, slightly bewildered demeanor added a uniquely grounded comedic tone to Bewitched. George Tobias passed away in 1980 at the age of 78, leaving behind the legacy of a warm and authentic piece of the show's heart. Louise Tate, the gentle and gracious wife of Larry Tate, was portrayed by Kasey Rogers with a signature elegance that made the character a subtle yet essential balance within Bewitched. Born on December 15, 1925, she took on the role at age 40, bringing a sense of stability and softness that helped ease the tension between the magical world and the high-pressure advertising environment. With her refined and understated performance, Rogers created a quiet charm that left a lasting impression without ever needing to be showy. She passed away in 2006 at the age of 80, leaving behind the memory of a warm and unforgettable supporting role. Gladys Kravitz, the nosy neighbor who always stumbled upon the unbelievable, was given an entirely new style when Sandra Gould took over the role in 1966. Born on July 23, 1916, she assumed the character at age 50, portraying Gladys with high energy, exaggerated comedic flair, and dramatically expressive reactions, a clear contrast to Alice Pearce's more subtle and restrained interpretation. The shift helped make Gladys stand out even more in the later seasons. Sandra Gould passed away in 1999 at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy as a classic comedic icon of American television. Tabitha Stevens, the little witch with bright eyes and an innocent smile, was brought to life by Erin Murphy in a way that made millions of viewers see her as the childhood icon of Bewitched. Born on June 17, 1964, Erin took on the role at just 2 years old, bringing a purity and sweetness that added warmth to the show amid the chaotic magical world of the adults. The image of Tabitha giving a gentle nose twitch continues to evoke a soft nostalgia for generations of fans. Now at 61, Erin Murphy is still remembered as one of the most beloved child stars in American television. Gladys Kravitz, the neighbor who was constantly alarmed by the strange happenings at the Stevens household, was portrayed by Alice Pearce with a uniquely expressive and memorable performance. Born on October 16, 1917, she took on the role at age 47 while quietly battling ovarian cancer, something the audience never knew. Despite her declining health, Pearce gave the role her all, creating a Gladys who was both humorous and pitiable in her own distinctive way. Sadly, she passed away in 1966 at the age of 48, leaving behind a touching legacy. An artist who shone brilliantly even as she faced the greatest tragedy of her life. Thank you for joining Vintage Rewind 1960s on this journey back into the magical world of Bewitched. The smiles, the nose twitches, and those unforgettable moments of charm continue to live on in the memories of generations. If you enjoy behind-the-scenes stories and time-traveling journeys through the lives of classic stars, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. See you again in our next trip through time.